Hey guys, and welcome back to Baseball Recruiting Coach. It's Wayne Mazzoni, and we're talking specifically today about scholarships. There's a lot to cover. Could almost never cover the full amount of it, but I want to give you a brief overview. Most of you know that in Division I, there's 11.7 scholarships for the baseball program. In Division II, there's 9. That's the limit set by the NCAA. You also probably know that the big boys in college athletics are fully funded, have those numbers I just mentioned. Many of the rest of the programs have less than that, because there's just not the budget to support it. Baseball doesn't sell tickets. The athletic department isn't that big, so it might be less than that. Now, the other misconceptions is that we have 11.7 in Division I anyway, scholarships to award every single year to the new freshman class. That's false. That is for the entire program at once, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, fifth-year senior, and even grad students, where that money gets spread out. And for the coaches, we make little spreadsheets, or some old school guys use the whiteboard, and we decide who is either graduating or leaving the program, how much scholarship money they're getting, and that shows us what we're able to offer for the following year. So if $53,000 in scholarship money is graduating, that's what we have for the next recruiting class. To be spread out really in any way that we want, provided at the Division I level, it's a quarter of tuition. So the minimum scholarship, it used to be coaches could give out $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000. Now it's a quarter of tuition. So depending on that particular school, you can do the math to determine what that is. Now, there are certainly other sources of financial aid, from academics to grants and loans. Here we're talking specifically about scholarships. Now, the other piece of this puzzle is you're going to find that most college programs break down into thirds. This is very general, but typically this way. A third of the players are not on any baseball money whatsoever. There's no money for those particular players. They're recruited walk-ons or walk-ons in that group. Then you have the players that are getting in that quarter, maybe to a half of the cost of the college through baseball scholarship. So a great offer, but certainly not anything more than 50% of what the cost is. Then you have about a third that are in that 50% all the way up. Very few get a full ride in the world of baseball. Many will get tuition and some additional money. Very few don't pay a dime to go to the college in the baseball world. Maybe at some of the really bigger schools, but at most that you're going to deal with, very, very rare in terms of getting a full ride. So about a third are getting that 50 to 95% of what the cost is as a school. Generally the pitchers that throw hard are truly high impact players that would get that type of money, type of players that are likely to get drafted out of college. In many programs, those are the kind of players that turn down the draft out of high school to sign and go on to a college level. So in terms of scholarships, now some other things, and we'll cover a few more pieces in this topic here. Number one, your money can go up and down over 4 years. You don't sign a 4-year deal, your money could increase, it could also decrease. Now, the increase could just be that you play tremendously well and the coach decides to award you more money. The decrease could be very simple in this, that you might get $20,000 a year, but as the cost of the school actually rises, your $20,000 is less of a percentage of what you were getting the previous year. Very rarely does a coach want to take your money away. And if they ever do, it's going to be based on your academics, it's going to be based on social behavior and fights and drugs and alcohol and that type of thing. It's not going to be because you hit 310 instead of 330, or you didn't win enough games on the mound. Coaches, it's very difficult to do by NCAA rules, and it's also not the way coaches really want to get the reputation of upping and lowering money just at will. It sets a bad precedent, bad for the coach. You come up on a visit, the players don't like the coach because the coach pulled their money because they didn't perform. Very rarely going to happen in any sport, particularly baseball. So that's a bit about scholarships. We're going to cover more a little bit down the road. Hope that helped. Again, it's Coach Mazzoni with Baseball Recruiting Coach. Thank you.